how you should eat when you're over 50. So by looking at my analytics, I see that I do have some people who follow me who are above 50. So today I wanted to make a special video for you all about healthy eating when you're over 50. I have made videos in the past with my mom about this as well, so don't hesitate to check these out right here, and I'll put the link in the description, and then let's get started. So first, let's talk about the things that change when you are over 50. So first of all, your metabolism slows down when you hit a certain age, so that means that it will actually become more efficient. So with the same amount of food, you will burn less energy to turn it into fuel. But that also means that you will require fewer calories, so a smaller food intake. But while that happens, you will have a bigger need for certain specific nutrients like fiber, like vitamin D and calcium and protein. So first thing you need to do, you should be focused on eating healthy, balanced meals with a bunch of fruit and vegetables, a bunch of whole grains, a bunch of legumes. Make sure that you're getting food that is rich in calcium, either from dairy or from plant-based alternatives. You also need to be more mindful with your eating to make sure that you're not overeating, and I'm going to talk about that more in detail later on. And then when it comes to specific nutrients to watch out for, you need to be getting enough fiber, because as you age, your bowel function, your bowel movements may need a little help and they may not function optimally. So you need to make sure that you're getting enough fiber to really help with that process. So you need both soluble and insoluble fiber. So you need to be eating things like fruit and vegetables, but also whole grains and a bunch of legumes. So you should be aiming for around 30 grams of fiber a day. And for reference, in like one apple, there can be around 2 to 3 grams of fiber. And then if you have like 100 grams of pasta, like maybe like half a plate of pasta, of whole wheat pasta specifically, that can be around like 8 grams of fiber. Obviously, this really depends on the type of food that you're eating, so you can look at the fiber content when you're buying foods on the nutrition label if that's something that interests you. But in general, if you're eating plenty of fruit and vegetables and whole grains and legumes, like I said, you should be fine. You also really need to watch out for your calcium levels and your vitamin D levels, because as you age, you will tend to have bones that are a little more brittle, and you need to make sure to keep them nice and fortified so that your body doesn't start leaching also the calcium from your bones to use up for your body. So you need to be eating enough calcium, and you need to be eating enough vitamin D to fix that calcium. So you can get that in dairy or in plant-based alternatives, but make sure to look at the labels and make sure that they actually are fortifying it, because some like plant-based milks don't naturally have calcium. Leafy green vegetables are also a great source, as well as certain types of fish. And then you also need to make sure that you're fixing that calcium with the vitamin D. So a lot of the products I mentioned will also have vitamin D or will be fortified in it. And you also need to make sure that you're getting plenty of sunlight. Protein is also crucial because you want to be maintaining your muscle mass, and you also want to be maintaining your strength, which tends to kind of decrease as you get older because you're not using your muscles as much. So adequate protein is absolutely essential for this. So you can find protein in a bunch of animal products. The ones I would recommend would be like fish, specifically salmon, because it's also going to be rich in omega-3s, which is also important. And also chicken can be a fine source of protein, eggs as well. And then the dairy that you're eating for the calcium is also going to be helpful with your protein intake. And then you also want to make sure that at least half of your protein intake comes from plant foods, because they have been shown to have like better health outcomes and like lower disease risks. So make sure that you're eating plenty of legumes. Specifically, lentils are super rich in protein, and then also beans and chickpeas, all of that. Also make sure that you're combining your protein intake with regular exercise, some like strength training. It can be light, but just so you keep the muscles moving. Also, watching out for your water intake is important, because as an older adult, you can tend to be a little bit dehydrated. Your sense of thirst can be a little less important. So you should be drinking at least 8 glasses a day, and making sure that you're eating plenty of fruit and vegetables, because they will have a good water content in them as well. And if you're not a huge water drinker, make sure that you're drinking beverages like tea or coffee that will make you drink the water without really realizing it, or you can even like put some fruit in the water, drink sparkling water, whatever you need to do to drink the water. Just a little reminder that you can find all of the services I offer on my website, and that's going to be the first link in the description. You can check out things that are paid, like my nutrition coaching sessions or my courses, but there's also a ton of free material, from webinars to ebooks to checklists to challenges, so make sure to check that out. Make sure that you're paying attention to potential signs of dehydration, like if you have a dry mouth or like very chapped lips, or if you start feeling a little bit dizzy, you need water. And getting enough hydration will also help your skin look better as you age. You can have more wrinkles, obviously, and if you're properly hydrated, they can be, in part, prevented. Now, here are things you need to focus on after 50 all the time, but specifically after 50. So first, mindful eating practices. Obviously, this is always, but specifically when you're after 50, you will tend to have a decreased digestive function in general. So it's very helpful for you to take the time to eat slowly, to focus on your food, no distractions, and to properly chew your food. This will all help. Also, since your metabolism slows down, like I said earlier, mindful eating and intuitive eating will help you be more in tune to your hunger cues, because I don't want you like counting your calories and being like, oh, I have to take away like 100 calories because my metabolism is slowing down. No, it shouldn't work like that. It should just be you being more in tune with yourself and realizing, okay, maybe I don't need to have that extra portion. Maybe I'm fine with this right now, because you don't necessarily need to eat as much as before, but you also very well could. So this is not like a one size fits all thing. If you learn to really listen to your body, then you'll know. And also, as you age, your senses will not work as well. So you may smell a little less and like taste a little less, and then even your vision can be a little bit impaired. I'm talking like small changes, but still it can have an impact. And if you're not mindful to your food, and if you're just like eating things without taking them in, plus that kind of like diminished senses, you're not going to enjoy it at all. So you need to really make sure that you're taking the time to look at your food, smell your food, taste your food, and really savor the food, and just pay attention in general, or else your senses will not be stimulated and you will not be satisfied, and you will tend to then eat more than you need to kind of fill that satisfaction. And if you want to learn more about mindful and intuitive eating, check out the playlist I have about that right here or in the description. It's also crucial that you keep your food fun and varied, and this is specifically for people over like 60, 65, people who are retired, because sometimes meals can become a little bit boring and repetitive and lonely even. So you need to recognize meals as an opportunity to connect and socialize with others. There are so many benefits from sharing meals, and it's also going to help you be more in tune with what you're eating instead of like you eating alone watching the TV. So try to really encourage family dinners and dinners with friends, or like gatherings, or you can join like certain club, or even like special senior activities. I'm sure that probably exists, communities, things like that, so that you have this presence. And just like community events around food in general, if you're having like a neighborhood like barbecue or a potluck or whatever, take those occasions, emphasizing the joy of food and also the cultural significance of food. That's really important. I say this all the time, but healthy eating and like food in general isn't just about getting the nutrients in. Like, if that were the case, we would just like be thriving with an IV with like the perfect amount of nutrients, and that's not it. This is why we need that social connection, and we need that true appreciation for food. We need that variety, diversity, and that's what really makes eating enjoyable. Now that you have a little bit more time, maybe you can spend some of that time in the kitchen trying different meals, trying different flavors. You can try cooking things from like different cultures, and you really need to be focusing on variety. This is really key, because as you get older, you tend to have like your specific habits that work, your specific meals that you like, and then you can become kind of like stuck in these patterns. This is a normal thing. It's like not a problem, but if you realize that, then it can be a good idea to try to switch things up a little bit. This can be good because variety is always good for health in general, to make sure that you're getting all the nutrients you need. Because I have some older clients telling me that they're super bored with their meals, but they don't know how to switch it up because they are really like too stuck in those meals. So try to change things a little by little. You don't have to like get rid of all your recipes and find all new ones, but try to incorporate a few more different recipes and then try to switch up the ones that you do have once in a while, just so you get that variety. That's going to really keep you excited for the meals. And bonus, don't forget to stay active and have a healthy schedule, healthy way of life in general, so that you sleep well, you try to lower your stress levels, try to do things that you really enjoy, do things for you. It's also really important that you have like hobbies and things that you like doing, because again, as you get older, mealtime can be like the one thing that's like pretty consistent in your life and like the only thing that kind of structures your day. And so you can like start to live just for your meals, which is super sad because there is so much more to live for than just food. So remember that and try to find other things that you're really passionate about too. That's it for this video. I hope that you enjoyed it. If you did, don't forget to like it, subscribe, and see you on my next one. Bye!